Hello friends and welcome to another video lesson from DBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. This is the second of an Excel tutorial series, and in this video we'll be learning how to type, insert text, navigate within a sheet, and how to edit text within Excel. Okay, so we will start with typing and inserting text in Excel. Excel is not like Microsoft Word where we can easily type text. There's a special case wherein typing is not that straightforward. So we will learn that in this video. You can easily type text in an empty cell. As you know, if you haven't, I would suggest that you would watch the previous video, the Excel basics, if you want really to get started from the very beginning of this one. So you know about cell. If you know a little bit about Excel, or if you have seen the first video, then you would know what a cell is. A cell is every individual unit or square or rectangle in a sheet. That's a cell. Okay, this is a cell. This is a cell. Okay, you can easily type text into a cell which is empty. Let's try this. Let's try typing a number in this cell called A2. Okay, I'll type number. Okay, so this cell, the address of that cell is A2. It is at column A and at row number 2. So the cell address is A2, and I entered the value 567 into it. Okay, let's move down and I will type another number value, maybe 0. Okay, maybe I will type negative 1000. So these are number values, numeric values, number values. Now, when typing this, do you notice something? Do you notice some kind of pattern that is happening after I type the number value into that cell, into those cells? If you'll notice, all of them are right aligned. They're aligned to the right side of the cell. This, they're all aligned to the right. It's called right aligned or right justified. And the purpose of this really is to facilitate computation if there will be a need for that, such as totaling, computing the sum of these values, or any kind of computation for that matter. So you will notice that when you enter a number value, a purely number value, in an Excel cell, it will be right aligned by default. Now let's try entering a letter. Let's say a letter or letters. Let's say ABC, RTY. Okay, I will just widen the cell. Okay, I will enter another, maybe a few letters. SDF, OKN. Okay, I will try maybe. Now I have entered purely letters on this, on the column B. Look at this, and then look at this. What do you notice about these three? These are all letters. I am not entering a purely numeric value such as what I did in A. I'm in column A. So in column B, you will notice that because I entered letters only, it is by default left justified or left aligned. You can see it is aligned to the left side of the cell, aligned to the left side of the cell. Same thing with this. Okay, now let's try entering an alphanumeric value, meaning a mixture of or combination of number and letter. Example, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. SEF 777. Then this time it's alphanumeric. I will even put the number in front. Let's say 555 SARDs. So what do you notice about these three? These are alphanumeric values. You will notice that they are all aligned left to the left aligned, same as letters. So from this, we can draw a conclusion on how Excel behaves when we insert text. It looks at the type of data, let's say data type. So if it is purely a numeric one, if it's purely number, I can even try this with the, okay, later on. So if it's purely numeric, it is right aligned, right justified. If it is any other kind of value, let's say letters only, it is left aligned. If it is alphanumeric, it is also left aligned, right? So here we are trying to learn how to insert text into Excel. Now let's look at some special cases. Let's try typing 001 and see what happens. 00, we can even try 007. 007, what happens? See, it becomes 7. I'll try it again. Maybe I'll put in a lot of zeros. 0000, and then 897. What happens? So what do we notice here? What happens is that the leading zeros are not getting written, and it becomes a problem because sometimes we really do have a real need to write those zeros, maybe some kind of employee ID, serial number that really requires maybe a receipt number, invoice number. So in such cases, we really need those leading zeros to be in there, because 0007 or something is not equal to just 7, right? So in this case, this is a special case. We will treat it differently in order that Excel will allow us to enter such values. Because in reality, there is no such number, which is 0007. It will just be simplified into 7. If you enter it in a calculator, it will be the same. If you enter 000007 or something, the zeros in front will just be ignored by the calculator. So here, if you really want to put the leading zeros in the cell, then you must start by typing a single quote. And then you can enter your zeros. And it stays there. You'll notice that there is a green marker on the upper left-hand corner of the cell. So what happens is it converted the data from purely numeric number to a text. Okay, we can do we can try another one. Again, single quote, so many zeros, 555. Okay, so that's a special case. Here we are trying to enter a numeric looking value, but with leading zeros. So this is, even if you go to a programming language, Java or what have you, then this will not be treated as a number or an integer. This will be only possible if you will treat it as a string, things of that sort. Okay, so that's a special case. Another special case that we would like to look into is, let's just say I am typing something here. Okay, some text, sorry. Yeah. Now, I type these words that you see. I want to type below it on the same cell. So right now I am in cell G2. If you can look at my pointer, I'm at cell G2 and the cursor is there, it's blinking. Now I want to type something else on the second line of G2. So normally if I was in Word, if I were in MS Word, Notepad, other applications you're so familiar with, even PowerPoint. You can just simply do an enter, right? And it goes to the second line. So look at this. If I enter here, look what happens. It's not what I want. It's not what I wanted. It went to the next cell, to the cell below it, which is called G3. But I don't want that to happen. What I want to happen is for me to type something on the same cell G2, but on the second line of it. So what will I do now? This is actually already part of editing. So although we will still have editing discussed later on in the video. So what you do here, let's just say you were here. You can see the cursor is alive, but you want to type on the second line of the same cell, G2. You do an Alt Enter. You press on Alt and then Enter. And then you see that this is what you wanted. The cursor goes to the second line of the same cell, G2. And then you can type some more text here. This is what you wanted. A multi-line text entry in the same cell called G2. So again, we were here, and then to get to the second line, to create a second line or to go to the line below it, you pressed Alt, and then while Alt is pressed, you press Enter, Alt, Enter. The next thing we will do is, okay, give me a sec. Navigation within a sheet. So navigation within a sheet. It sounds so simple, but again, Excel has its unique features which are not present in applications like Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, because it's of a different nature. It was created for a different purpose. In fact, I would say among the three, Word, PowerPoint, and this, I would say Excel will be the most powerful. Okay, so navigation within a sheet. The first one we will look into is moving to an adjacent or adjacent cell. Adjacent meaning a cell beside the current active. If you look at this, the box, the cell with the green outline around it is called the active cell. It is a current cell where instead of a cursor, you are seeing, like we call it, a focus. So the focus is on that cell. You see the cell is called C8. That's the active cell. It is marked by a green rectangle around it. Now, the first thing we need to know is moving to an adjacent cell, that is using arrow keys. So meaning, this is simple. If you want to, as you know, in your keyboard, you have arrow keys. You have 4 arrow keys: the up, the down, the left, and the right. So these, although it's so obvious, yes, but still it's good to know for those who are really seeing Excel for the first time. So to move around within a sheet, to go up, you'll use the up arrow key. To go down, use the down arrow key, and to go left arrow key, right arrow key. That is moving from cell to cell, adjacent cell. I mean the one beside it. With this single action, I cannot just jump to the end of the sheet, to the right, to the bottom, or to the top. It will take a combination of at least 2 keys. This is just for moving to the next cell above it, next cell below, next cell to the left, next cell to the right. Okay, so that's navigation within the sheet. The next is going to the start of a row. What I mean is this. Let's just say I was here. Okay, let's just say I was here. I am here. I'll mark it. So sorry. This one. Okay, I'll mark it like that. I am at cell C4. C4. And we wanted to go to the start of a row. So you click on home. Okay, from C4, you click on the home key. It goes to the beginning of the row. Okay. The next is going to the end of a row. Here, it so happened that I only have 3 columns. But there will be instances wherein you will have many columns. I will just space it so it becomes long, and you will see. So let's just say I am here. Again, I'll make it yellow so you will see it. I am at this yellow cell here called A4. Now I want to go to this cell called I4, which I'm clicking now. So what I will do is this. Go to the end of a row, you will click on and the end key, and then right arrow key. Let's do that. See? So I'll click back to the yellow position, to the yellow cell. I click on home. Watch the focus, the active cell, it changes. So I click on home, it goes to A4. I want to go to the end of the same row and see, and while end is pressed, you press on the right arrow key. And no, I was wrong. You don't have to keep the end pressed. After pressing end, you can release it, and then you press on the right. It goes there. Again, home, and don't need to keep it pressed. Right. Okay. The next is moving up and down page by page. So again, you're only seeing just a tiny fraction of my desktop, just so you can view this optimally from a mobile device. But if you want to move page down, I mean page by page navigation within the sheet, then you just look for your page up, page down key on your keyboard. So say if I press page down, initially I was at this position. Okay. You see, I am currently at J1 cell. When I page down, I click on page down, it goes to J10, J19, and so on. It is consistent. Same thing, if you go up page by page, you will press the page up button. Okay, so that one is easy. Okay. Next is going to a specific cell. There will be cases where, although rare, it's good to know this, you want to go to a specific cell that you really know what the cell address is. So you will, in this case, you will use the keyboard shortcut Control-G. And then when the pop-up comes, you will enter the cell address where you want to go to. Example, I'll remove this highlight. Okay. Now I wanted to go to this. I'll mark it again in yellow. And this, the address is H6. Let's just pretend we're at, not pretend, but we're really going there. So again, we want to go to H6. Okay, so we are at A2. So to go to a specific cell, you press Control-G. And then you say H6. It goes there. See, now the cell address is H6. Okay, let's move to another location. Maybe we go to D4. Again, Control-G. This is case insensitive, can be lowercase, uppercase. So I say D4. It goes to D4. And you see the cell address of the active cell is D4. Okay. So we get that. That's also still part of navigation. Navigation within a sheet. The next in navigation is going to the first column and first row, which is also cell A1 in a sheet. You would seldom need this, but it's good to know how to do this, because sometimes you would come across a very big spreadsheet and you would be really somewhere deep, deep, deep down and to the right. So let's just say I am here. Okay. And I am here, I am at here, I mean at this cell with address Z193, or in other parts of the world, Z193. Now I wanted to go to the column 1, row 1, which is cell A1. I will just do Control Home. While Control is pressed, press the Home key. So I'll do that now. Goes there. A1, I'm back there. Okay, I'll do it. See, I'm here at Z193. I'll go somewhere else. I'll even to go to further to the right, AC193. Again, I will go to the column 1 first, column 1, row 1, which is cell A1. Control Home. And although it's not obvious, but you will see in the cell address, it changed to A1. Okay, so that is navigation. So we have covered navigation within a sheet. The next thing that we'll do is editing text. Okay. Now, if we look at this, I will remove this highlight. Okay. We're into editing text. Let's try adding text to a non-empty cell. Okay, I want you to focus on this cell. I will put it in yellow so you will see. I want to edit this cell, which is in yellow right now. But let's just say I don't know how to edit in Excel. And I was assuming this is something very straightforward, such as what I would do in Microsoft Word, Notepad, PowerPoint. So there is already some text in it. So I click my mouse on that, and then I type something. What happens? What happens is that the old text is gone. It gets overwritten by whatever I typed now, which is not what I wanted. So I will do an undo with a Control Z. So this needs editing. Inserting text is not the same as editing text. Inserting is entering text into an empty cell like this. Then that is no problem, right? Because it's empty. But if you wanted to edit text or add something to it, change something in it, delete it. Delete it is a different matter, it's straightforward. But editing, it requires a different kind of action. Okay, so you've already seen that when I tried to edit this by typing over it, the old text was gone, was overwritten. So this will need editing. There are 3 ways to edit text in a cell. One is, of course, if I wanted to edit a cell, I would go to that. So by clicking, yes, you can use the Control G you've just learned, but that's so fancy. You can just go simple and click on that, if you know. Go there. Once I'm in that cell that I wanted to edit, I can click on the function key F2. And then you see that the cursor comes alive in that cell. Now you can edit. Okay. So editing text, the first way of editing is by using F2, the function key. The second way of editing is by simply double clicking the cell that you wanted to edit. So first is you go to the cell that you wanted to edit, and then you double click it. And again, the same thing happens. The cursor comes alive. So you do the editing that you wanted to do. Right? The next the third way to edit, you don't have to know all these, but it's good to know. And then depending on your comfort level, whichever is more convenient for you, you can take that as your default. But it's good to know the three options. The third is by making use of what is called the formula bar, which is here at the top beside this FX. So again, the first is to make sure you are at the cell that you wanted to edit, which is where we are right now. We are at B2 in that yellow cell. So I will click. You can notice at the formula bar, the same text is actually there. It's shown there exactly. So what you do, you click your mouse there, and also the same thing goes. Happens. You can see the cursor, and that means it's ready to be edited again. Okay, so you've learned how to edit text in three different ways. One is by using the function key F2. Second is by double clicking on the text in it, and then you can edit. The third is using the formula bar, and you can see the same effect. You see the cursor becoming alive and then waiting for you to do your editing, and you can do the editing that you wanted to do. So that is editing text. Fourth on the list is undo and redo. We'll touch on this a little bit. It will not be so deep, but it's a very handy command that you need to know because people make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, right? So let's just say, again, we're working on this cell, which is a yellow, and you did some change. Let's just say you did this, and then you said, no, I made a mistake. This shouldn't be the family name. I wanted to change. So you can do an undo. You see this at the right beside the diskette, at the very top, at the title bar. You see undo. If you click here, you can either click this or you can press the shortcut key Control Z or Control Z. So I will do the Control Z, and it undoes the last action done. Okay, it reverses the effect of the last action that you did. So that's undoing. Redo is the reverse of undo. If I can put it this way, a redo is an undo of an undo. Confusing, isn't it? So undo is to take back or reverse the effect of the last action you did because you made a mistake. But a redo is undoing an undo. Again, you will see what it means. So you've seen that we have just done an undo here, right? So if I wanted to say, oh, actually I was right, then I want to take it back again. So I will do a redo. Click this button over here, and it puts it back. Okay, so an undo is just the reverse of a redo, and a redo. So usually when you make a mistake, you will do a Control Z, undo, when you made a mistake. This will reverse the effect of the last action you did. And the reverse of that is a redo. Redo is again to undo and undo. Okay, so there you have it. We've covered typing or inserting text, navigation within an Excel sheet, and editing text. And finally, we talked about undo and redo. And remember that undo isn't just going one step back. It can go many steps back, undoing every little step you did within this Excel sheet. Okay. Thanks for watching, and please click subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because we have just started the journey, your learning journey, and this one is for Excel. This will be a series. Okay. See you in the next video.